So we're going to go ahead and start in a comfortable seat, whatever that means to you. You can have your legs out in front of you. You can have your legs one bent in front of the other. If your legs are stacked, just go ahead and move the other one out in front. And these can be bent as little or as much as you'd like. And we'll start with just closing the eyes or lowering the gaze. And to check in with your breath, no need to judge or change it. Just see what it's doing. You can check in with your body. See if there's any place you want to work on that's maybe feeling a little bit more sore or stuck. See if you're holding tension anywhere you can release. Check in the low back and the glutes and the jaw or the back of the neck. We'll just check in with our five senses. If your eyes are closed, we'll start with sight. Just checking out the back of the eyelids, seeing what kind of shapes you can see. And if your gaze is lowered, you can just check out maybe your feet or your shins. How can you be inquisitive about these things you're looking at? What shape are they? What color? They change their shape? You can check in with your taste. See what the inside of your mouth tastes like, maybe your lips. Move on to touch, feeling maybe your legs beneath your palms, maybe the way your legs are being supported by the ground and the mat, and the mat. Check in with the nose, see what you smell around you. Maybe the inside of your nostrils. Maybe the room you're in. Be inquisitive about the smells and the tastes and the touches. Is there more than one smell around you? Moving on to your ears. What things can you hear around you? Sound of my voice, sound of your thoughts, fan, an open window. Be inquisitive about the sounds around you. Are there sounds you can hear that you can make change, make your experience different? And all that beautiful stimuli that we love with all our senses, and maybe just zoning in on the brain. And just coming inside, leaving all that beautiful outside stimulus outside of you. And check in with that brain and see if there's any thoughts racing by, any plans for later, or things that came through today already. Let anything go. Right now, you're just sitting here in this spot, in this place, at this time. And that's all that matters. You can slow your breath. Try to follow that breath as it comes in through your nostrils, down the back of your throat, in through your chest. Follow it down into your belly, into the bottom of the lungs. Get a nice big belly breath. And exhale that breath out of the belly, through the chest, up through the neck, and out through the nose or mouth. Follow your breath a few more times. Just imagine the journey it's making. If you'd like to expand that breath past your lungs into your limbs, you like the idea of your breath moving all the way through your body. Maybe you're breathing good things into your entire body. And as you exhale, you're taking out all the negativity, all the carbon dioxide, also nitrogen in your body, and breathing it out. Each inhale is a nice cleansing breath, covering the whole body in a beautiful light. And each exhale is ripping out anything negative from that body and exhaling it out through the lungs with no carbon dioxide. And take that inhale and that light that comes in through the nostrils, and we're going to center it in a nice ball of energy at the chest. And we're going to hold this ball of energy today. That's going to lead us throughout the day. Let's say if we fold forward, we can lead with that mid chest. If we're coming back up, we'll come back up from that mid chest. Holding that ball of energy at your chest, making it nice and solid and big with every inhale. Gently open our eyes or raise the gaze. And if you have your legs crossed, go ahead and bring the opposite leg in front. We'll start just by shaking out the shoulders, even the wrists and the arms will shake out. Maybe you want to make wrist circles in either direction. Maybe you want to grab your fingers and interlace them, make like a little. There's one direction. This really hurts my wrist. We'll pull that Spine nice and long. We'll make some circles with the chin, just nice big O's circling with the chin in both directions. You hear a crunching neck, that's okay. If you don't like it, you can make slightly smaller circles. When you're ready, we're going to gently bring that ear to the shoulder and bring that opposite arm overhead to gently place on the side of the head if you'd like. Bring that chin forward, bring that neck back up, release your hand, and bring your ear to your shoulder on the other side. Nice long neck, no crunching in the side. It doesn't need to go very far. And if you'd like, you can bring your opposite arm up. Same arm. Opposite arm up to lay on the side of your head. Just a nice gentle pressure on your knee. And we'll go ahead and roll that chin forward and bring it back to center. We're going to lift the arms up in the air. Reach those fingertips in all directions, melt the shoulder blades down the back, tuck those ribs back in. We're going to go down to one side, reaching that opposite arm overhead. Thumb reaches towards the back of the room. Ear is trying not to eat the arm and like opposite as well. If you feel comfortable here, you can come down to your forearm as your elbow, as long as your sit bone stays stationary on the mat. And really get into that side of the body and into that hip. Just breathe here. From here, we're going to fold forward gently, bringing that elbow towards the knee. No reason for it to touch. And then back up. Do two more of these. Keep those sit bones nice and tightly locked to the mat. And no need to go far, just stretching in the side. Inhaling back to the center. And exhaling down to the other hand first. We'll start by reaching over top, opening up those intercostal muscles, pointing that thumb towards the back of the room. From here, you can drop down to that forearm, as long as both sit bones are still glued to the mat. If your knee comes up, try to bring it back down. And feel that stretch in the side body and the hip. Nice, gentle breaths here. On your next exhale, you can bring that elbow down to your knee. If that sit bone pops up, you just bring it back down and just fold a little bit less, like I just did. I'll do two more like that. And then coming back to center, reaching those arms up into the air. We're going to do a twist to the back. We can just place one hand on the knee, place the other behind you. Inhaling up nice and tall. Exhaling to the back of the room. Two more breaths. Inhale nice and long. Exhale to twist a little bit more. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale to twist. And then inhale, come back and do a nice little counter twist on the other side. And we'll come back to center. Taking the opposite hand on the opposite knee, twisting to the back of the room. Inhaling that spine nice and long. Exhaling backwards. Two more breaths like that. Inhale nice and long. Exhale to the back of the room. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhaling, twisting back. And on your next exhale, you can come back to the center. We'll bring those arms stretched out in a big T, reaching those biceps as far as they can go out in either direction. You can flex your hands if that's not working for you, like it doesn't really work for me. You can bend those fingers or make fists. Breathing here. Also, if you had a strap, you could strap your hands up. or like a wall to push it against, that would be okay too. All right, from here, we're going to do some nice internal and external rotation of the arms. Feels like I haven't done it in a long time. Oh, go ahead and continue to breathe. From here, we'll bring our arms up into the air. Bend one elbow down. You can place the hand on top of the elbow to reach it down the back. Sigh those shoulders down. Then reach the arms back into the air. We'll bring that elbow, opposite elbow down this time, placing the hand on top for a nice gentle stretch. On your next exhale, we'll make our arms nice and long and in the air. Then we'll come down to our nice strong biceps, making some muscles here. We'll do some robot arms. Each time your arm comes into a bicep, you can go ahead and flex that arm. And if you don't want to, you can go ahead and just continue the movement. We'll come back to those nice strong bicep arms in our cartoon cactus. Spread those fingers nice and wide. We'll push them out to the sides and then bring one arm over for a stretch. Sighing that shoulder down and really stretching in the upper arm here. And giving yourself a massage if that feels nice for you. Exhaling to stretch the other arm over. Again, giving yourself a massage if that feels nice. When you're ready, you can release your arms, shake them out, and we'll meet in tabletop pose while I get some undog tainted water. Tabletop pose. Your hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. Tops of the feet are glued to the mat. We're just gonna do some nice tucks and tilts with the tailbone here. And come somewhere in between. Oh, thank you, Clementine. And then come somewhere in between to a nice neutral spine. From here, we'll drop those udders down really before you stretch that chest forward. Really feel that low belly drop down. See if you can stretch in the lower abdominals. See if you can feel those hip points reaching towards the sky. Then shine your chest forward, almost pulling your chest through your shoulders. Breathing in nice and deeply for cow pose. Taking a few breaths here. Exhaling back for cat. Option to tuck your toes under. Option to come up on fingertips. Really round in the back here. Pushing back. Option to even bring those the bums down to the heels if you want to really get into that back stretch. Come back to round into your cat. Taking there's no tension in your neck, nodding your head yes, shaking your head no, moving your head I don't know. On your next inhale, we'll come back to the tops of the feet, drop the udder down and breathe into. Exhaling into cat. Inhaling into cat. Exhaling into cat. Inhaling into cat. Do a few of these on your own pace and your own breath. And introduce S and C curves into the spine. Just waking up the back any way you feel comfortable. When you're ready, we'll come to a nice neutral spine and we'll make our spines into jump ropes. So we'll start just by turning that cat spine nice and high into the air. Then we'll come to the one side with our spine and then drop down into a cow pose and then come back up to the other side. And then back to cat. So go ahead and round through that spine, making that motion like a jump rope into your cat pose. And making sure you go in both directions. When you've had enough of that, you can come to stillness. Go ahead and do leg lifts. If you'd like to add a block behind your leg, you certainly can. If you'd like to just flex your foot to keep a nice, strong right angle in that knee, you certainly can, and activate the back of the leg there. Also, if you have an additional block, you can place one on your sacrum to try to stay square in your hips. We'll do 5 leg lifts, inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. 3, 4, and 5. On the top of the 5th one, you can stay there, check in with those hips again, make sure they're square towards the mat. And we'll do 5 little bounces here. And then you can stretch that leg out, lose your block, reposition your hips so they're nice and square to the ground. Point that toe and then tap down to the mat, and we'll do 5 leg lifts here. On the top of that 5th one, we'll do 5 little bounces. And drop that leg down and come to the other side. Well, nope, we're not coming to the other side yet. Okay. And now that we're back in our tabletop pose, we'll go into that side leg. This time we're going to just lift that leg up to the side like a dog. 5 leg lifts. Trying to keep those hips as square as possible. At the top of the 5th one, you can do 5 tiny bounces. And release your leg back down. Opposite leg, you can bring that block behind if you'd like. Flexing that foot, we'll do 5 leg lifts, squaring those hips to the ground. Ooh, not like that, square. On the top of that 5th one, we'll do a 5 little bounce. And straighten that leg, lose your block. Re-square those hips so they're nice and straight, or not sorry, so they're 90 parallel to the ground. And we'll do 5 leg lifts here, pointing the toe down. On the top of that 5th one, you do 5 little bounces. Then you can bend that knee down, return to your tabletop pose. 2 leg lifts out to the side with the opposite leg. 5 on the left side. Focusing on squaring those hips. On the top of that 5th one, you can do 5 little bounces. And you can lower that leg down. Give yourself a nice little cat-cow. A little tuck and tilt of the pelvis. We'll come back onto the feet. We'll do a few toe stretches. Tucking those toes under. Bringing your bum to your heels. Sitting up straight if this is too much for you. You can bring your hands back down to the mat. If you'd like a little more into the pose, you can come up onto your, you can come up onto your knees. This will probably lessen the stress on your toes. Make sure your knees are about hips width distance apart, coming straight down from your thighs. We'll do one arm at a time, reaching for the heels. Nice round, reaching your arm forward and then back to touch the heel, bringing it back to the front. Reaching the opposite arm back, forward and then back to reach the heel, and then bringing it back to the front. Pulling that chest and that belly button forward. We're going to bring both arms back now, reaching back for those feet one at a time if you'd like to, and come into camel pose. Your palms can be on your heels, your fingertips can be on your heels, whatever's comfortable here. Make sure you're not crunching your chin into your chest. Just breathe. We'll take one arm, windmill it forward, second arm, windmill it forward. We'll come back down into our tabletop pose, bringing those toes to the mat, top of the toes onto the mat, and just sit back onto those feet. You can bring your knees up off the mat if that's comfortable for you, or you can just play with your toes and give your toes a little stretch. While you're sitting here, see if you can also play with that tuck and tilt of your pelvis. Make a big C in your body if you'd like. Maybe you can feel the stretch in the front of your quads, making a big C. All right, I'm gonna drink of water and we will come into downward facing dog. All right, excuse me. Feet can be hip width distance or wider here. Start by pedaling out the feet nice and slowly. Maybe putting all your pressure onto one leg. That's stretching and then the other. Really getting into the back of those calves. When you're ready, we'll inhale those heels into the air and exhale them down onto the mat. Pressing that tailbone into the air. Thighs reaching for the back wall near the ceiling. You can nod your head yes here, you can shake your head no, you can move your head I don't know. From here, we're going to roll forward to plank pose. Excuse me. And we're going to press back to our downward facing dog. All right, we're going to step the feet about as wide as the mat. Make sure to give yourself a lot of room. I personally do not have a lot of room. We're going to do jumping jacks with our spine, but this time from down dog. All right. So we have our down dog up. We're going to bring those hips nice and over to one side and then come down for a plank or a low cobra or upward facing dog and press onto the other side. And then scooping back to down dog. So let's bring that jump rope down and then back up. Let's do 5 on one side. Go ahead and do 5 in the other direction. Really focusing on making that triangle with the hips. Triangle, diamond. Rather than a smooth circle if you're not very good at smooth. Diamond. If you find your feet are getting too much into it, just focus that movement back on the hips. You've had enough of that. You can come into down dog. Roll forward to plank. Stretch those heels back. Pressing back to our downward facing dog. Lift one leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, open the hips. Option to drop that foot down behind you for rock star pose. 5 breaths here. On your next exhale, we'll come back into downward facing dog. Okay. Coming back into downward facing dog, you can lift that opposite leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, open up the hips. Bring that heel down. Option to come into rock star pose here. On your next exhale, you can bring your leg down. You can hop or step forward, straight up forward, fold at the front of the mat. Take a nice deep breath here. Feel the bottom of your feet against the mat, melting down. Next, inhale, you can place your hands on your shins for a nice flat back. And exhale down, move forward. On your next inhale, you can gently roll up to stand. So you're in standing pose at the front of the mat. Standing in mountain pose, feeling the bottoms of the feet touching the mat. Take a minute to just stand on one foot and let that other foot just kind of press all around into the mat. Maybe the sides of the feet, maybe the top of the foot, maybe the insoles. You can switch to the other foot. We weren't doing them at the same time. And once we feel really connected and grounded into that mat, we'll inhale our arms up into Urdhva Hastasana. Checking in here, melting those shoulders down the back, releasing the glutes, releasing the jaw. Nice big inhale. And exhale to fold forward. Take this forward fold nice and deep. Imagine you're hanging over a clothesline. Your knees to be bent or straight. See if you can just kind of play with maybe swaying back and forth. Ow. Maybe hit your head on the air filter. Maybe sway back and forth a little bit. Really feel all four corners of the feet against the mat. Maybe if you sway a little bit to one side, you can feel a deeper stretch in the back of those thighs. And here we'll place the hands down, step back, plank pose. And lower your knees just in chin or go for your vinyasa, coming up for an upward facing dog or wolf cobra, and pressing back to downward facing dog. Step forward, turn forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. And then exhale down to your forward fold. On your next inhale, then gently roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous one. Press the feet into the mat like you're pressing the ground away from you. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat, and lift the arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Go through your vinyasa or lower knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog, and pressing back to downward. 3 breaths in down dog. You can pedal out your feet here. You can play with bringing those heels closer to the mat. And on your next exhale, you can step or hop or step forward. So you're forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, we'll place the hands on the shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, you can fold forward. Really melting down like you're hanging over a clothesline. From here, we're going to press the feet down into the mat, press the ground away, gently roll up, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous one. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat, feeling all 4 corners of your feet touch the ground. We're going to inhale the arms up into the air. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Over your knees, chest and chin, or both of you vinyasa. Up to a low cobra or upward facing dog, and pressing back. Buddy, 3 breaths in down dog. What happened? Your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, we'll place the hands on the shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward, and inhale to press the ground away, and gently roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous. Sitting in mountain pose at the front of the mat, we're going to inhale the arms up above your head. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Run through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And pressing back to down. Oh, thank you, Trey. 3 breaths in downward facing dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to the forward fold at the front of it. Here we can place the hands on the shins, nice long flat back. And on your next exhale, you can fold forward. Inhale, push that ground away, gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat, we'll inhale the arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale the arms down to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Go through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for low cobra, upward facing up. Press back to down. Your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to a forward fold at the front of that. On your next inhale, place hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to gently roll up to stand. All right. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Feel all four corners of the feet really connect with the ground. All right, from here, we'll lift the arms in the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Option to heel toe your feet together here as we come into chair pose. Bend those knees. Keep the heels on the ground. Keep the bum in toe. Exhaling here to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Go through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Pressing back to down dog. On your next inhale, we'll take that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale to bend the leg. Open up that leg. Bring it forward, help it if you need to. And a nice, sturdy, low lunge. In this little lunge, we're going to take that back leg down, glue the top of that back foot onto the mat. We're going to inhale up. We're going to gaze at the thumbs for a gentle back bend. If you can't feel it in this upper thigh, you can sink in a little bit. Exhale, we'll bring those hands back down to frame that front foot. We'll kick that front foot up a few inches, re-square those hips, and try to bring that forehead to the shin for a nice runner's stretch. Right now, while your body's in this stretch, you can practice pointing your toe or flexing your foot to work on the balance here. You can even kind of move it back and forth if that works. I feel like flexing the foot really helps me find the balance point. And if your foot is nice and flexed, you can also try to work on maybe wagging your tail here. Maybe slowly. When you're ready, you can bring that front foot back to meet the back. Press up into your downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat, or go through your vinyasa. Come to an upward facing dog, or low cobra, and press back to a down dog. Lifting that left leg in the air, three-legged dog, bending the knee, opening up those hips, bringing that leg forward, helping you if you need to. Move it down into that nice, sturdy, low lunge. You feel a nice right angle in that front knee. We'll bring that back knee down, glue the top of that back foot to the mat. From here, we'll windmill the arms into the air and gaze at the thumbs for a gentle back bend. Like to get a little deeper in the pose, you can always sink into that front thigh. On your next exhale, we'll straighten that front leg, maybe bring it out about 6 or 8 inches. You can work on pointing and flexing the foot, or maybe moving it back and forth. And while you're here, you can work on doing a nice little tail wag. That feels nice. You can feel maybe any other muscles in the back of the thigh stretch here. Next exhale, let's bring that front foot back to meet the back. Tuck those back toes under, come back into downward facing dog. From here, you can roll forward to plank pose, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. into a low cobra or upward facing dog. And press back to down dog. Breathing in down dog. Exhale, you can hop or step forward, turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, we'll gently roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous. All right, sitting in mountain pose at the front of the mat, let's lift the arms in the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, coming into chair pose. One nice big deep breath in chair. Then we'll exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands and step back from plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra upward facing dog. And exhale back to a down dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, swing that leg forward, help it if you need to. Lower that back heel down, we'll come to our nice sturdy low lunge here. Nice right angle in that front knee, you can press that ground away from you. Keep that front knee bent as much as you can, keeping those hips square to the front of the room. From here, lift the arms into the air for warrior one. Your next exhale, you can bring your arms behind you, interlace your fingers behind your back, and come down to a humble warrior. On your next inhale, press back to your warrior one. Exhale to frame that front foot. Put that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog, rolling forward to plank, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat, or running through your vinyasa, coming up for a low cobra, upward facing dog, and pressing back to down dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, swing that leg forward, help it if you need to. Come into your nice, sturdy, low lunge. Nice right angle on that front knee. Pressing the ground away from you, we'll come up into a warrior one. Next exhale, you can bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers behind your back, and your thumb on top this time. Bring that shoulder down to the knee for humble warrior. Back into warrior one. Exhale down to frame that front foot. Pick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Exhaling, rolling forward to plank. Lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Pressing back. You down dog. On your next exhale, you can up or step forward. Turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can gently roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous. Standing mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhale the arms above the head for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bend the knees coming down into chair pose. Bring your hands to heart center and we'll bring one elbow to the side for chair pose twist. Pressing that elbow against the knee against the elbow, palms against each other. Inhaling back up for a chair pose. And exhaling back down to the other side. Back to your chair. Exhale down to your forward fold. Plant your hands. Step back to plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. We're facing down. And press back to down dog. On your next inhale, bring that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knees, swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. Come into your nice, sturdy, low lunge here. Hips still square to the front of the mat. Press the ground away as you inhale your arms up for a warrior one. Exhale down to humble warrior. Inhale up to warrior two. Opening up the hips this time. Bringing that palm forward and then back to reverse your warrior. Bend in that front knee. We're going to straighten that front knee. We're going to come forward and down for triangle pose. Bend that front knee and bring the forearm to the thigh for side angle pose. And now when we hold the hands down, bring that front foot, kick that front foot back to meet the back for downward facing dog. On your next inhale, you can roll forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale forward cobra or upward facing dog. Press back to down dog. Yes, inhale, you can bring that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open up those hips, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. From here, we'll rotate that back heel down. Get a nice right angle in that front leg. Push the ground away as you inhale those arms into the air for your warrior one. Exhale down to your humble warrior. Inhale back up to your warrior two. Opening those hips up, out to the side of the mat. So bring that front palm forward and back to reverse your warrior. Nice bend in that front knee. Give that front knee a rest. Come forward and then down for triangle pose. Bend that front knee and bring your forearm to the thigh for side angle. Exhale, we'll frame that front foot, get that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Rolling forward plank, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Pressing back, down. 3 breaths in downward facing dog or child's pose, whichever is more restful for you. Your next exhale, you can hop or step forward, turning forward, fold at the front. And there you can gently roll up to stand. So you're standing in a mountain pose. Have a drink of water. All right, sitting mountain pose at the front of the mat. Let's lift the arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale into your chair pose. Deep breath in here. Fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Press back to down dog. From here, let's lift the right leg in the air, 3-legged dog. Bend the knees, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. Rotate that back heel down. Pressing the ground away, we're going to come up to our warrior one. Exhale down to humble warrior. Inhale up and out to warrior two. Bring that forearm forward and back to reverse your warrior. Bend that front, or straighten that front knee, come forward and down for triangle pose. Coming into our side angle pose. Windmilling those arms down so you're in a wide-legged forward fold to the side of the mat. Nice deep breath here. Option to walk those fingertips behind you for a little bit deeper stretch. Walk them in front of you for a wide-legged flat back. I'm going to heel toe those feet in just wide enough so you can come into a squat and your heels are still on the ground. Whatever that width means to you. From here, place those hands on the ground, push that bum into the air. We'll walk around so we're back in our downward facing dog. You can roll forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And press back to a down dog. Breathing in downward facing dog. We're going to lift the left leg into the air, 3-legged dog. Bend the knees, swing the foot forward. Help it if you need to. We'll rotate that back heel down. Punch any muscles you want to activate. Then we'll press that floor away. Bring those arms up for warrior one. Exhaling down, interlacing those hands behind your back, coming down. Humble warrior. Inhaling up for warrior one and out for warrior two. Hand forward and back to reverse your warrior. Straighten that knee, we'll come forward and down for triangle. Then that front knee will come into side angle pose. From here, we'll windmill those arms down, come into your wide-legged forward fold. This time you can walk your heels together and come into whatever kind of squat you want. Your next exhale, you can press your hand into the ground, press your bum into the air. We'll come into standing pose. Well, no, I lied. Let's go into our downward facing dog. Go through our last vinyasa, rolling forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale, roll over, upward facing dog. Press back to a downward facing dog. Your next exhale, you can hop or step forwards. You have a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, we'll place each vertebrae on top of the previous one and come into a mountain pose. All right, go ahead and do some balancing poses, whatever that means to you. I'm going to come into a tree pose, waking up the bottoms of those feet, even though I've been stepping on them for a really long time. I really want them to know how important it is right now for them to behave. So let's press one foot into the ground. You can bring that heel to your ankle. You can bring that foot to the calf, or you can press your heel into your inner thigh. As long as your feet are not touching your knees. Hands can be at heart center, they can be on your hips, or they can be branches blowing in the breeze. Release your foot from your leg. You can bring that knee forward. You can straighten your leg, lift a little higher, maybe a little higher. Drop it down. You can give a little massage to that standing leg, outer calf muscle. Shake it out, and we'll come into the other leg, standing nice and sturdy onto that foot, placing the ankle against the leg, the foot against the calf, or the heel against the inner thigh. Hands can be at heart center or on your hips, or branches blowing in the breeze. You can remove that foot from your leg and stretch that leg out in front of you. Maybe lift a little higher, maybe a little higher, maybe a little higher, and then let it down. Give yourself a little massage on the outside of the legs here. Come back to a mountain pose at the front of the mat. When you're ready, we're going to fold forward, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend your knees, swing that shin forward, help it if you need to. Come into pigeon pose. Get yourself nice and set up, as much props as you need. Shine that chest forward, and then come down to pigeon. You can lift your head up and chest off the mat. You can wiggle your legs under. Turn a tabletop pose. Maybe give your hips a little shake out. You can press back to downward facing dog. Inhaling that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, swinging that shin forward, helping it if you need to. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight, like a pin coming out back here. Give yourself any props you may need. Lift that chest up and sink down to pigeon pose. Lift your head, neck, and chest off the mat. Wiggle your legs so you're back in that tabletop pose. Roll forward, sort of laying down on our stomachs. Roll onto your backs. We'll just go ahead and windshield wiper out through the knees. You're gonna hug those legs in nice and close to the chest. Maybe draw circles with the knees. Make sure you go both directions. You're gonna come into a gentle inversion, whatever that means to you. You have a block, you can place it under the sacrum and just lift your legs in the air. If you don't have a block, you can just lift your legs in the air. You can do legs against the wall, which is sometimes very nice. Because the wall is very supportive. Or you can do a supported shoulder stand, whatever you like. While you're here, you can play with tucking, or sorry, yeah, you can play with tucking and tilting your tailbone if you'd like. But you can play with flexing and pointing your toes, flexing the feet, pointing the toes, flexing the feet, pointing the toes. If your legs are straight out from your hips, just stacked up. Your knees can be bent, but if your legs are stacked above your hips, you can start with just some gentle internal and external rotation at the thigh. That nice juicy hip joint. And if you'd like an added challenge here, you can make that internal and external rotation and just widen your legs out to a V. If you have the ability to come to a full straddle, you certainly can. Just continue that internal and external rotation of the thighs as you move your legs up and down the V. And if you don't like that and that's not fun for you, you can just have your legs hanging out and you would like to end class now, you can go into your Shavasana. But if you'd like to have 15 more minutes of class, you can certainly continue on. We're going to go into our active bridges. So you can bring your feet so you can just about graze the heels with your fingertips. You place a block in between your knees if that feels nice for you. We'll just work right now with tilting and tucking that pelvis. See how that feels. With flattening the back against the mat and lifting it up. Flattening that back against the mat, tilting that pelvis, lift your hips into the air and come into a nice active bridge. Option to interlace your hands behind you and bring those shoulder blades underneath you. 3 to 5 nice breaths here. And exhale back down to the mat. And give your legs a windshield wiper back and forth. And we'll come into our next active bridge. Tilting that pelvis up, lifting it into the air. Option to bring those shoulder blades underneath you and interlace your hands back behind your back. 3 to 5 good breaths here. Exhale, you can move your hands, remove your shoulders. Bring your spine back down to the mat. Your legs will windshield wiper back and forth. And coming to your last bridge, tilting that pelvis up. Lifting your hips off the ground. Exhale, bring your spine back to the mat. Windshield wiper those knees out back and forth. From here, we're going to do 3 quick bridges. Just tilt the pelvis and bring those hips up into the air and back down. And again, bring it up to the air and then back down. Tilt your pelvis, lift up, and then come back down. If you have a blocking place in between your knees here, you don't have to. We're going to raise one leg in the air. Now we're going to do the same 3 lifts. Lifting that pelvis up on 1, bringing it back down, lifting it up for 2, bringing it back down, lifting it up for 3, and bringing it back down. Change which leg is lifted in the air. Come in for your 3 lifts. 1. Remember to tuck that pelvis under as you lift. 2. Tilt that pelvis up. Tuck it under, tilt it back, tuck it under. Lift it up. 3. And then back down. Give your legs a little windshield wiper back and forth. We'll do that one more time. Lifting the hips into 3 active bridges. 1, 2, 3. Then lifting one leg into the air, 3 active bridges. 1, 2, 3. And lowering that leg down, lifting the other leg into the air, and 3 bridges. 1, 2, and 3. You can lower your legs down, get rid of any props, windshield wiper those knees back and forth. You're gonna hug the knees into the chest nice and tight. Keep that right leg, drop the left leg down. Bend that left leg, place the foot on the ground. You're gonna bring that right ankle to the left knee. Lift that left leg into the air, flex both feet. From here, draw circles with that left knee, maybe 3 in each direction. You're ready, we're gonna interlace our hands back behind us. Bring that thigh in nice and close and press that leg away. Sorry, the opposite, the bent knee. Press that right leg away with your right elbow. Bring that left knee in. From here, if you're not feeling any sore suck spots, you can always just kind of rock back and forth until you find something that might need a little bit more love. Coming back to the center, we're going to grab our right leg with our right arm and our left leg, left arm. Our left leg is going to straighten up in the air and then come down to the left. Oh, you're a big girl. We're going to do 5 leg lifts with that straight leg. Coming up for 1, back 2, I know, 3, 4, 5. Release that leg down to the ground and let it go. I'm going to grab that bent right leg, same arm as leg, maybe underneath it if you'd like. If that gives you a much more comfortable position, you can. I'm just trying to pull this leg as close to the body as possible. Bring that right leg to the outside of the foot or the ankle, and we're going to stretch the right leg out to the right side. And you can be bent as deeply as you'd like here. Gently take that right foot into your left leg and pull it over to the left side of the body. We'll hug that knee into the chest nice and tight. This time, hand on the knee. We'll just take that knee out maybe 30 degrees from the center. Then exhale, pressing it over to the left side. Put your left hand on that help. And then bring both knees into the chest nice and tight. And we'll drop them to the right side. Arms can be out to a T or in cartoon cactus arms. Your hands can be on your legs. Shoulders should be on the mat, and your gaze can be over the opposite shoulder or towards the slope. Inhale, let's bring those legs back to the center. Put them in nice and tight. This time we'll bring that right foot down to the mat. Bring that left ankle to the right foot. Lift both legs into the air, flex those feet, and draw circles with that right knee. Free in both directions. Now when you're ready, we'll interlace the hands behind that right thigh. Bring that right thigh into the body as you press the left leg away with your left elbow. If you're not feeling particularly stretchy here, you can always rock back and forth and find a spot that's maybe a little bit more sore, stuck, that needs the breath. Just straighten out that right leg, hold on to that left, point the toe, and do 5 leg lifts with that right leg, nice and square. So when you're ready, you can let that leg go. Bring this left leg into the body, nice and tight, whatever that means to you. We'll go ahead and place the hand on the outside of the foot or the ankle or the calf and stretch that left leg over to the left side of the body. You can bring it over to the right hand. Place that right hand to the right side. Bring that back to the left side. This time we will bend the knee, place that left hand on the left knee, and just open up the leg, nice and gentle out to the left. Then you can pass it to the other hand and just bring that leg across your body. Back to center, you can hug both knees into your chest nice and tight. You make a little circle with the back, low back, low back. And then when you're ready, you can drop those knees onto one side and come into your twist on the other side. Arms can be straight out in a T. They can be in crouching cactus arms. You can have your hands on your knee. Gaze can be at the ceiling or over the opposite shoulder. And now you can come back to center. Hug those knees into your chest, nice and tight. Rock back and forth. And make circles with your knees. When you're ready, you can reach to the insteps of your feet. Come into a happy baby. We practice getting those knees into your elbows. Could maybe straighten out one leg at a time. What you'd like to do for the last few minutes. Ready? You can release into your final resting. And let all your hard work melt into your muscles and bones. Make small movements, with fingers and toes. Using your arm as a pillow. Roll over and take one breath in the fetal position. Using that same slow quality of movement, come up to a comfortable seat. Bring the hands to heart center and we'll close with one arm. Inhaling from. Namaste.